Trimblestown is situated to the west of Trim. It's approached by two avenues, one from the south, which is a long one, and one from the north, which is quite short. In 1461, Robert Barnwell was created Baron Trimblestown by King Edward IV. The family were very involved in state affairs in medieval times and also in defending the Pale against the Irish. Hugh de Lacy may have erected a motte at Trimblestown, and there is a large mound to one side of the castle. A motte is a circular grass-covered mound topped with a timber castle. A village may have grown up around the castle, as there is an extensive field system surrounding the building. Matthias Lord Trimblestown was one of the Old English Lords of the Pale. He was outlawed by the English authorities and sentenced to be transplanted to Connacht by Cromwell in 1653, but managed to delay it until 1655 and was granted over 1,000 acres belonging to the French family of Monivea, County Galway. The Barnwells shared the same family motto with the French family, Malum mori quam foderi, I would rather die than be dishonoured. In 1647, General Jones took Trimblestown Castle for the English forces. They regained Trimblestown and lands in Meath after Charles II was restored, and also managed to hold on to lands in Connacht. Matthias died at Monivea in 1667 and was buried at Kilconnell Abbey. Matthias, the next Baron, supported James II, and his estate and title were forfeited as a result. The next Barons took the title, but they were not recognised as they were Roman Catholic. One of those was Matthias Barnwell, 10th Lord Trimblestown. He was killed aged 22 while fighting for the French in 1692 in the Battle of Otterville. And he was remembered in 2017 at a special commemoration service at Teneville, about 150 kilometres south of Brussels, where a small delegation from County Meath were on hand to support the unveiling of the restored memorial. Robert Barnwell, the 12th Baron, was educated in France and was noted for his medicinal skills. He treated the ailments of all the local poor without charge and set aside Friday to see patients. His fame as a medical practitioner spread far and wide. A fashionable lady came to Trimblestown to be treated for ennui, possibly depression, and Barnwell had her sit on a swing in a darkened room and put in 4 assistants to threaten her with rods. Well, she recovered perfect health and maintained that good health until her death. The 12th Baron also had an aviary of rare birds on the estate, and he kept an eagle chained to his front door. His greenhouse contained many rare plants, including one tree which had leaves of orange, lemon, citron and cedar, and the tree produced fruits of all 4 kinds. The 12th Baron had at least one daughter, Bridget, who was the mother of Richard Martin. Richard Martin was known as Humanity Dick, a nickname bestowed on him by King George IV. Martin succeeded in getting the pioneering Cruel Treatment of Cattle Act passed in 1822. There's a Barnwell County in South Carolina. Colonel John Barnwell, also known as Tuscarora Jack, arrived on the coastal shores of South Carolina in 1701 as an immigrant from Ireland. He acquired the name Tuscarora Jack following a successful expedition against the Tuscarora Indians in North Carolina in 1711. Barnwell County was called Winton County until 1785, when it was renamed in honour of John Barnwell, a Revolutionary War veteran. Robert W. Barnwell, a descendant, was to the forefront of the foundation of the Confederate States of America. Trimblestown Castle was a 3-storey tower house erected in the 15th century, possibly by the first Lord Trimblestown. There is a loft above the ground floor with a barrel vault. High up on the tower is a plaque commemorating the marriage of the sixth Baron to Catherine Nugent, but there's lots of ivy now, so it can't be seen. There was a fine bow projection on the east wall. The 12th Lord Trimblestown attached a new three-storey house on the north of the tower house. This may have happened about 1797, when the 14th Lord Trimblestown, then aged 70, married a woman less than a third of his age. The suggestion is that she got a new house in return for an old husband. Soon afterwards, her husband inherited Turvey, County Dublin, from a distant cousin, and in due course the family moved there, leaving Trimblestown Castle to slip into decay. The castle was in ruins by the 1840s, and the domain was farmed by a Mr. Allen. The lands amounting to 681 acres were in the possession of Honourable Anna Barnwell in 1925, when it was taken over by the Land Commission. As the only daughter of the 16th Baron, she married Robert Elliot of Scotland. Her burial site is in the Scottish Highlands, and there's a stained glass window in the church commemorating her, and it reads, "A kinder-hearted and most utterly unselfish woman never lived." The 20th Baron Trimblestown died at the age of 69 in 1997, and his successor is his brother Raymond Barnwell, a dairy farmer who lives in England. The noted horse trainer Frank Barber erected stables and a house at Trimblestown about 1915. Dot Tubridy's husband worked at the stud for a short time. Dot went on to be a confidant of the Kennedys. Her husband Michael was killed in a fall from a horse on the grounds of the stud. A bracelet of gold with a quadrangle row of pellets dating to about 800 BC was found near the castle of Trimblestown in the early 1800s. These are now in the National Museum of Ireland. To the north of the castle is an old graveyard, in which is located a small stone chapel containing the 1680 tomb of Margaret, wife of the 9th Baron Trimblestown. The chapel was recently restored by a local committee. The chapel is now kept locked, but inside is a grave slab commemorating Margaret Dangan, who died in 1680. There is a poetic stone here in Trimblestown graveyard. It's to the Bly family. Beneath this stone Sylvester lies, whose ashes mingles with the Blys. He passed through life unstained with pride. We wept and lamented when he died. His sons whose youth he ne'er neglected, in gratitude his stone erected.